Hey, what's up? It's Brandon again. Welcome to About Brandon. As you can see, I have a brief written biography. I wanted to do a video because I know, me personally, I hate reading, so I wanted to put a video on just basically to describe who I am, kind of my past, my background. Well, it started off, I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1985, to my mother, who's Brandon Robertson, a single mother. I've never met my father. From there, we moved back to Arizona. I actually only lived in Tulsa for one day. Long story, but we moved back to Phoenix, San Diego. That's where I met my dad. I was adopted when I was 3 as my dad. I'll call him my dad for the rest of my life. That's where I grew up. Lived in San Diego, Arizona, whatnot, and moved to Salt Lake City in, I don't know, 92, something like that. That's where I, most of my dad moved from there in 99, moved to Chandler, Arizona, where lucky enough I went to high school. I went to Hamilton High School in Chandler, Arizona, which is, now is one of the powerhouses in all of Arizona football. I was we won state championship my senior year. I actually coach there now. I'm a coach for the JV team. So that's what I do kind of, for fun, is I coach football. I got done there after a lot of guys on my team went Division I. I was, overlooked, I feel, so, I was kind of told that I couldn't do it. I've never been the type, I want to do something, I do it, so I actually went to a junior college here, Scottsdale Community College, and, played basically to prove that I could play collegiate. Had a really good freshman year. Was actually a preseason All-American going into my sophomore year. Got injured, excuses, whatever. Got hurt. My ultimate goal didn't end up working out. I went to Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. Got injured. I was injured the whole time. Once I left Scottsdale, really, football just wasn't there for me. The passion wasn't there anymore. It was just what I did. So after that, I went to after Drake for one semester. I was getting ready to spring football. I just, I thought it was because I was too far away. I didn't have the passion, so I wanted to try something new. Came back to Northern Arizona University. Lumberjacks, was going to play there. Was there for a year. I had to sit out because of the Division I transfers. Didn't work out there. Was getting ready for spring ball and was getting for the spring ball and everything, and I just, it just wasn't fun. If I'm not going to give 100%, into whatever I do, then it's not worth doing. So that's how football became to me. It was a tough decision. It's what I've been since I was little. Was football. That was gonna be my way. Is football. Didn't work out. Most people it doesn't. So I was really basically lost for about 2 years. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I found 9 to 5 was never my thing, so I was really depressed. I didn't know what I was going to do. I've been knowing as a football. That's what I was. My career choice was basically going to be, I wanted to be a police officer. What's the closest thing to sports at that time to me was, the activity part. Never know what's going on. It's different. It's not the same thing every day. You know what I'm saying? So police officer is what I wanted. I applied for multiple agencies, and I passed it. I passed everything. What held me back was I had traffic tickets. I truly believe everything happens for a reason. So traffic tickets kept me from being hired. And when it happened, there was always a part of me that said, if I were to get hired, what happens? I'm gonna be locked in a job for basically 20 years, get my retirement. I got to live in the city for 20 years. There's no traveling. Since I can remember, what I wanted to do was travel. I want to live in different cities. I want to experience the world. That's what I've always been. And, being a cop kind of held that back, but it was just one of those sacrifices I made. And I think that was a turning point in my life. In life, what happens is when we're younger, we have our dreams. We all know that. We get older and we get kind of hit by life, and we kind of lose track of what we want to do or what we wanted to be. And I almost did the same thing, and like I said, everything happens for a reason. I didn't get hired because of traffic tickets, and within a week some events happened to me that basically brought me to where I am today. It's crazy. at the time I worked at a group home with the mentally challenged, and I work at their houses, but they have also a workshop where the clients, they go and they kind of work during the day. And I worked there for 2 years, and only one day did I ever work actually at the workshop. The day I go, they were actually doing a product that I never heard of, didn't even have any idea about functional beverages. I seen the product, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is a great idea. I didn't even know it was network marketing. I had no idea. I just knew it was a great idea, great product. And I was kind of looking for something at the time. How did these millionaires become millionaires? Like, what do they do? And I seen this, and I go, that's a great idea. Whoever thought of that was genius. That weekend, actually before the weekend, I was on about a Tuesday, Thursday, I was driving to work again to the actual house at night. It was a horrible rainstorm out in Phoenix. If you don't know, monsoon season. It doesn't rain much in Arizona, but when it does, it's borderline hurricane. It's bad. Driving to work, and I actually was going about 65 on the highway in my truck, and hydroplaned, 65 into the median. Didn't have my seatbelt on. The only reason, let's face it, the only reason I didn't die was because my truck actually did a 180. So when I hit the median, I flew into the passenger seat instead of out the window or whatnot. Hit the wall, came back all the way across, didn't get hit by anybody. My whole truck was shifted, airbags came out, but all I had was a scratch on my shin. That was an eye-opener, you know what I mean? That opened my eyes. The next day, I was kind of, I was okay, I didn't die, so I was good. The next day, I go to actual Hamilton. I hadn't been to a Hamilton high school football game in 3 years. I go to the game, I meet one of my former teammates that I hadn't seen it was actually his first time ever going to Hamilton game in 3 years. We met in the parking lot before the game, connected, met up. I had no idea what he's doing. He just said he was a part of something. I knew I wanted to do something. The rest is history. I found out what it is. And as soon as I seen it, I ran with it, and I'm running with it today. And it's one of the best decisions I ever made. That's kind of, my story briefly. We all have our paths to where we go. This is my path. And basically, I always find it interesting. I like to hear everyone's story. So that's my story. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope that was brief enough. I hope some information came out of that. So check out the rest of the site. Hopefully I'll get a message from you. Talk to you later.